Hello, my name is Heather Pruitt. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the Regional Council Manager for Birth to 5 Illinois, Region 13, covering Clinton, Jefferson, Marion, and Washington counties. Thank you for watching Region 13's Early Childhood Regional Needs Assessment Virtual Report. This recorded session will provide an overview of findings from the Birth to 5 Illinois Region 13 Needs Assessment, as well as talk about the strengths, needs, and recommendations for improving access to and enrollment in early childhood education and care programs in the region. A link to the full report can be found in the description below. If you would like to turn on closed captioning, click the CC icon at the bottom of the video. This will turn on captions. If you want a language different than English, click on the gear icon for settings, click on subtitles, then auto translate, and you can scroll down to pick the language you want. In 2021, the Illinois Commission on Equitable Early Childhood Education and Care Funding issued a report with findings that highlighted the inequities in early childhood funding in Illinois and the need to create a better statewide infrastructure to support early childhood professionals, expand services and programs for families and caregivers, and increase enrollment in early childhood education and care programs. The report focused on the importance of addressing racial inequities and the need to include local voices in the conversation funders and decision makers were having about early childhood education and care. To provide a structure for communities, families, and caregivers to engage with the data and share their experiences, a new statewide infrastructure was created across 39 regions, all of which align with existing Illinois State Board of Education regional offices of education boundaries, but operate independently. Birth to 5 Illinois regional boundaries align with school districts instead of strictly following county lines, which can be a challenge for gathering and interpreting data because many early childhood services are provided by or tied to school districts. Region 13 is located in the south central part of the state and includes Clinton, Jefferson, Marion, and Washington counties. It is the traditional home to the Osage, Miami, Kaskaskia, and Kickapoo tribes. It is a mostly rural area made up of many small farming communities, villages, and small towns. Many of the occupational opportunities across the region are in the agriculture industry, healthcare, education, or factory-based work. Joining me in this presentation is the staff of our Region 13 office. Brittany Lemons, our Family and Community Engagement Specialist, and our Administrative Support, Jessica Chin.
The experiences and knowledge families, caregivers, and early childhood professionals gain while navigating the complexities of the state's early childhood education and care system are valuable, and understanding their lived experience in the local context is vital for decision makers to ensure communities have the access to the programs, services, and supports they need. To this end, Birth to 5 Illinois was created to harness family and caregiver voices in early childhood education and care, and serve as a bridge between the communities and policymakers so family, caregiver, and professional experiences can guide the decisions made to expand or enhance services across the state. Our mission is to create a statewide regional infrastructure that will amplify input from the communities in the development of policies and funding priorities. We support the mobilization of communities to build and sustain equitable access to inclusive, high-quality early childhood services for all children and families in the state of Illinois. We envision that our work will help all stakeholders reimagine a more equitable early childhood education and care system that respects family and community voice and works to ensure it is centered and prioritized at every level of decision-making in Illinois. We have three main values and goals. First, we must prioritize family voice. Through this transformation centered on authentic family and community engagement, we will address the inequitable distribution of resources and services and rebuild our state's early childhood education and care system. Second, we must address the racial inequities that exist in our early childhood system. In an effort to move our early childhood education and care system to one where racism no longer impacts a child's success, we will work to dismantle barriers that have limited access to high-quality services for minoritized children in every corner of our state. Third, we will use the collective impact model to shift the current early childhood system to influence policy and funding at the local, regional, and state level. Birth to 5 Illinois will use community-driven feedback to build a system that harnesses knowledge directly from families and providers and encourages decision makers to ensure new and/or expanded services are created to meet community needs.
Two critical parts of the new statewide infrastructure are family councils and action councils. Located in each of the 39 regions, the councils provide feedback on quantitative data from the Illinois Early Childhood Asset Map, or ICAM, and the Illinois Network of Child Care Resource and Referral Agency, or INCRA, to help contextualize the data at the local level. The councils meet twice a month in virtual, in-person, or hybrid meetings. The family councils are comprised of parents and caregivers from a wide variety of family types. Single parents, adoptive and foster parents, caregivers and relatives, teen parents, two-parent families, multi-generational families, and more. The Family Council prioritizes the voices of those who have not been involved in this type of work before. We want to highlight those who have been involved in our Region 13 Family Council over the past year and thank them for sharing their experiences with the early childhood system. Sarah Brashear, Kathy Brown, Ramsey Callahan, Tony Carter, Shelby Koch, Jessica Hogg, Rachel Jackson, Lexi Quinteras, Caitlin Mullins, Jacob Purcell, Hannah Rainey, Katie Schmollinger, Kelsey Smith, and Veronica Whistler. Action councils are comprised of early childhood education and care professionals, healthcare providers, faith leaders, elected officials, and other community members. Each action council reserved 2 seats for parents and/or caregivers to ensure family voices were included in every discussion. Action council members were invited to bring additional aggregated data on programs and services provided by their agency and/or organization to complement the data from the Illinois Early Childhood Asset Map and the Illinois Network of Child Care Resource and Referral Agencies. We extend thanks and gratitude to our Region 13 Action Council members: Kara Boozer, Trinae Brockhouse, Jennifer Clark, Emma Conway, Crystal Donahoe, Shirley Gordon, Ashley Griffin, Michaela Hargrave, Mary Hart, April Higgins, Christy Jean, Maria Kaler, Deborah Lewis, Jessica Palazzolo, Brianna Pelchinsky, and Jill Wardlow. Beyond the council meetings, additional qualitative data was collected community-wide through focus groups and interviews, and all council members were invited to provide input on each section of their early childhood regional needs assessment. Council members developed the strengths, needs, and recommended next steps that are unique to each region. Regional teams, along with the support of their Action and Family Council members, created a dissemination plan and are holding community meetings virtually and in person to share their report's findings. The following slides highlight some of the data that was discussed by council members and provide insights into the early childhood education and care landscape in our region. Region 13 is mostly white, with about 16% of the population in the region identifying as Black or African American, or Hispanic or Latino, or 2 or more races. Region 13 is mostly rural. The largest population in the region is Mount Vernon, with a population of about 14,600. Part of the conversation with council members was around priority populations defined by the Illinois Early Learning Council as groups that have been historically underserved by the early childhood education and care programs. In Region 13, the priority populations include children living in families in poverty or deep poverty, children of migrant or seasonal workers, children in households speaking a language other than English, and children experiencing homelessness. While data on children and families from priority populations is limited, there are a few things of note about Region 13. According to the 2020 census, about 47% of the children ages birth to 5 lived at or below 200% of the federal poverty level, meaning that many of them were eligible for a number of state-funded early childhood programs. Those living at the highest rates of poverty, which is living at or below 50% of the federal poverty level, are highly concentrated in Jefferson and Marion counties. Additionally, as many as 7% of kindergartners are experiencing homelessness and receiving services through school-based McKinney-Vento programming. Additional information about priority populations was gathered through surveys, interviews, and focus groups, and is included throughout our final Early Childhood Regional Needs Assessment report. Community collaborations are an integral part of the early childhood landscape. Local early childhood community collaborations bring together community agencies, organizations, and individuals with a shared vision or goal. They understand the importance of improving early childhood education and care for children, caregivers, and providers. At the beginning of our work this year, Region 13 did not have a recognized local early childhood collaboration. However, there is one group that has recently started the process to become a local early childhood collaboration. The Regional Office of Education number 13's Early Childhood Collaboration is in the very early phases of development, and they hope to serve as a coordinated intake and family navigation system for all 4 counties in Region 13. More information on the local collaboration and the work they are planning to do can be found in the Regional Needs Assessment. Region 13 is home to a variety of early childhood education and care programs and providers, all servicing children based on licensing, funding, and staffing requirements. But access to early childhood programs and services is not equitable for all of the region's families. Wait lists at child care centers and the availability of child care in our region is a significant barrier for families and caregivers. As one community member stated, availability has been and is continuing to be difficult to find. When I say availability, I mean quality options. When I was transitioning from a babysitter to the daycare, I messaged around 15 places and they said they could put me on the wait list, which was 1.5 years long. Families and caregivers reported that they were highly reliant on family, friends, and neighbors for childcare for their children. Some parents have had to make sacrifices in their jobs and personal lives due to the lack of available childcare and cited the cost of childcare and/or lack of availability as reasons why they do not use childcare. There is a program that families can apply to through the Illinois Department of Human Services, or IDHS, called the Child Care Assistance Program, or CCAP. This program provides families with limited access to financial resources and access to quality, affordable child care while allowing caregivers to continue working and/or complete their education. All families are required to cost share on a sliding scale based on family size and income. However, not all providers will accept CCAP due to delayed payments, and not all families want to complete the application, which is lengthy and can be difficult to complete. There are publicly funded preschool options available in the region, such as Early Head Start, Preschool for All, and Preschool for All expansion programs. However, many programs are only offered for half a day, and many are unable to provide transportation to and from the program, leaving many families who qualify for publicly funded preschool choosing not to enroll them in a publicly funded program. Additionally, there are not enough spots for families to enroll their child in care across all programs in the region, especially for infant and toddler care, leaving some families with very limited options for child care. Through community meetings, focus groups, interviews, and surveys, families in the region reiterated the urgent need for more affordable child care and preschool options, staffed with providers and teachers that are well paid, supported, and who will want to continue working in early childhood long term. Similar to other areas of the state, Region 13 is experiencing a staff and teacher shortage, preventing programs from operating at full capacity or expanding to meet community needs. Staff turnover is a big contributor to the workforce shortage, and it remains a concern among community members in Region 13. Programs and centers are having a difficult time filling open positions, which has led to the closure of classrooms and centers in this region. Discussions from the community indicate that low wages and limited benefits, the high stress level of the job, lack of support and available resources, declines in their mental health, and wanting better work-life balance are resulting in high turnover in staff. One community member noted that they want to provide a high-quality option for families that goes above and beyond the minimum standards, but they are currently unable to provide the quality of care that they want and should every single day because of a lack of workforce. More information on the early childhood education and care workforce in Region 13 can be found in the Regional Needs Assessment. Accessibility to current programs was a common theme that our discussions with families and caregivers elevated. Families discussed the many barriers that they face when trying to access the current early childhood education and care programs for their children. A few of the common barriers for families in this region include: options for early childhood education and care programs are limited in the most rural areas of the region, especially in Washington County. Preschool programs are predominantly half-day throughout the region, and full-day options are very limited in all 4 counties. Due to insufficient funds, many districts within our region are not able to offer families transportation services. Additionally, the vast majority of parents do not have a workaround for the transportation dilemma. The lack of reliable transportation and competing work schedules are just a few barriers that parents are grappling with. Childcare availability and affordability are also barriers to families in this region. Many of the childcare centers and homes in this region have reported extensive wait lists for infants and toddlers that are often over a year long. Other barriers and concerns from families and caregivers in Region 13 can once again be found in the Regional Needs Assessment. Community and council members identified several strengths of the early childhood system in the region. For the sake of time, I will only share a few. The greatest strength in the region is that there is a strong desire to create collaboration and provide resources to families. There are several programs that exist in this region that provide high-quality care and education for children and families. There are also currently half-day preschool programs in most of the communities throughout the region. Community and council members also identified challenges and opportunities for growth in the region. For the sake of time, I will only share a few. Families need accessible childcare and full-day preschool options. Early childhood education and care teachers and staff need increased wages and/or improved benefits to provide adequate compensation to those currently in and to those who are entering the field. And a family navigation system is needed to ease the enrollment processes and help families find the programs and services that exist within the region. Based on community and council conversations, recommendations have been made on how early childhood education and care programs and services can be improved for families in the region. Recommendations will be presented to lawmakers, state agencies, local elected officials, and funders so they can better understand the needs of families in the region and share the recommendations with them so they can see how to best meet those needs. These are a few of the recommendations made, but more can be found in the Regional Needs Assessment. Recommendation 1. Increase the efforts at the state and local level to make improvements in the workforce crisis. In order to move many of Region 13's recommendations forward, a highly qualified and fully staffed workforce is necessary. Recommendation 2. Expand access to both publicly funded programs and high-quality, affordable childcare, specifically through the addition of full-day classrooms by providing transportation for students, expanding birth to 3 programs, and expanding infant and toddler care options. Recommendation 3. Continue funding to grow and develop the newly recognized early childhood collaboration to support its efforts to become a central navigation system for families and providers while developing shared values and buy-in from community partners and organizations. An expanded list of recommendations can be found in the Regional Needs Assessment. This summer, we will be out in the community talking to more families, providers, and stakeholders about their experiences with early childhood education and care, and we want to talk with you. We invite community members, families, and early childhood professionals to join the conversation by filling out a council interest form. Please go to www.birth-to-5il.com/councils or click the link in the description to get involved. Interest forms will close later this summer, with council meetings fully resuming in August.
Birth to 5 Illinois is proud to be a department of the Illinois Network of Child Care Resource and Referral Agency. We are grateful for funding through the Illinois State Board of Education and the Illinois Department of Human Services.
I want to thank our state partners for their support and you for watching. We encourage you to stay in touch with us by visiting our regional webpage at www.birth5il.com/region13, by joining our Facebook group or reaching out to me via email at hpruitt@birth5il.com. Links to our pages, along with my email address, are available in the description below. We thank you for your time, and we look forward to connecting with you soon.